President-elect Donald Trump facing renewed scrutiny over his business ties, but he is dismissing concerns of possible conflicts of interest. The president-elect telling the New York Times, quote, "The law is totally on my side," meaning the president can't have a conflict of interest. According to a transcript of the interview, here now is Peter Morici, University of Maryland economist. Peter, you know, this is a tough conundrum because I couldn't really figure out a way that he could really make himself clean of outside interests. Even if he transfers his businesses to his family, I mean, then it's his kid's business. He's not any less conflicted.
Well, he can't divest himself. It isn't like owning stock in IBM that you can sell it. He can't turn around and sell these hotels in a matter of 60 days or even 2 years. So that's not on the table. And he can't put something in a blind trust that's got his name all over the place. He knows where the hotels are, and he knows the people in those countries he's going to be dealing with. So the best he really can do is transfer control of his properties, of his business, to his children. But in return, his children have to leave the White House, so to speak. They can't be involved in policy discussions, sit in meetings with heads of state and things like that. They basically have to leave the scene. You can see them on holidays, at social gatherings and so forth, but he can't be discussing government business with them.
And even that, it seems like, would be hard to do because, I mean, it looks like he has a very close relationship with Jared Kushner, that he's, you know, come to depend on him in certain ways. He's a trusted advisor. His kids have been some of his most trusted advisors along the way. So I don't know that even that is really that doable to sort of separate himself. Is there any sort of auditor that could be put in place, or I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell what to do.
Well, it's not hard for him to find new advisors and very capable people. After all, he didn't know Mr. Pence at all until about 3 months ago, or 4 months ago, whatever it was. I mean, he can find new people to advise him. This is the cost of becoming president. It's like a woman joining a convent or a man joining a monastic order. He's made this decision to be president. It's a special status in American society.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, he's not beyond conflict of interest. They just don't apply the statutes to him.
Yeah.
If he has a conflict of interest and acts negatively, that is, you know, gets involved in a quid pro quo, he's impeachable. And that is real.
And he has to think about it, too, from appearance's sake, because draining the swamp is something that, you know, he ran on. You look at Republican Congressman Justin Amash's tweet, who said, you know, you rightly criticized Hillary Clinton's foundation. You have contacts with foreign governments. It's certainly a big deal, too. Drain the swamp. You know, that was one tweet that went out, and he is certainly going to be under scrutiny for this. He certainly has to address it. Would you agree?
Yeah, and the thing is to remember is there's nothing he can do that will make Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats happy. I mean, they're criticizing every cabinet appointment. They want to, you know, have the inspector general, you know, investigate Sessions and all the rest, which is just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. I mean, I'm so amused that they're raising questions, for example, about a conflict of interest with regard to Deutsche Bank. Heck, their candidate sold an hour of her time to Goldman Sachs for $650,000, and they're worried about a billionaire having a conflict of interest. One of the things to remember is he's a very wealthy man. He doesn't need any more money. So separate out and just focus on being president. This he owes to us.
Yeah, that's true. Peter, always wise. Thank you for coming on.